I mean, not always, technically, right? Some things some people can't move past, but I'll struggle with it, but I'll get past this somehow. No, but I mean, some things, there are some things that I think are bad enough if you do them. I feel like maybe some people just don't have the capacity to forgive certain things. I don't know if that's true, but I'm testing out. It looks like I'm locked into the screen, so my mouse isn't going off out of the screen like it's done on previous times. That's good. So all the trains were canceled at one point, obviously because of the quarantine. So I don't know how familiar you are with this, Patak. I'm assuming, because you were wanting me to play it, I'm assuming you already know kind of the story and stuff. If you need me to explain anything, let me know, but I think you're probably already familiar. Yaughton and Tipworth Stargazers Club, yeah. Yeah. And, I don't remember her name now. Was it Liza or something? Anyway, the girl, so you have Rebecca, I think, is the American who married Steven, right? And they came back here. And then I think it's like Liza or something like that anyway, was having an affair with Steven once he had come back here. Yeah, it does depend, I think, right? Obviously, See, I think people sometimes make blanket statements like heals all wounds. I don't know about all wounds. I mean, there's some. There's a reason there's, like, childhood trauma and people are permanently mentally damaged from experiences, right? Time does not just automatically heal that stuff. So, yeah. Sometimes people want to make a poignant or pithy statement, so they'll make it sound like it's all inclusive, but it's not always the case. So it's kind of, I don't know, they kind of shouldn't really be making that statement. I mean, it's good for the most part. It's just there are limitations. Okay, so we went over there, I think, and this is all like blocked off, if I remember right, with trees and stuff, and then that side for sure is blocked off. Because I tried looking over by the trains before and there wasn't a way around them. So I think oh yeah, this has the quarantine barrier up here. That's what it is. So it's not, it looked from a distance like it was trees, but trees that had fallen or something, but I suppose that makes sense. They wouldn't necessarily knock trees down, just put a barrier saying you're not allowed to leave, right? Oh, another stinking radio message.
Repeating over and over to myself in the dark, eating cold food from a can with my fingers. My name is Catherine Collins. I am Catherine Collins. As if I can force the world to acknowledge my existence. Time has ceased to exist in any real terms. I'm reduced to marking out the days on the walls. Like a cave woman.
So we're not going up to the tower there, looks like. Well, that sounds bad. I was before, like I said, at the beginning of the game, I thought we were playing Catherine. So it's not Rebecca, it's Catherine. Anyway, I thought we were playing Catherine at the beginning. And now we might still be playing Catherine, but I don't believe... But see, if we were Catherine... Okay, let me slightly back up. I thought we were Catherine, but now I'm wondering if Catherine has turned into a ball of light. It's feeling more and more like she got affected by what everybody else got affected by. if that is indeed true, then we're not Catherine. Because as we walk through the grass and stuff, you can hear footsteps, right? So if we were a ball of light, we wouldn't be making footstep noises.
Station Master's house, Howard Lantham speaking. Howard, it's Clive. Clive Smith. I need you to listen to me and not ask questions or interrupt. Can you do that? Yeah, I can. But why are you calling? The Emergency Measures Committee is imposing a quarantine around the valley. We've got an influenza outbreak in the village. We're suspending rail services, and we're also going to be shutting down the roads for a bit. You're going to be dealing with some anxious people, Howard, so you need to explain it's all under control, and we'll be back to normal in a few days. All right? Open up the emergency store. There's posters and boards along with a bunch of stuff that hasn't been used since the war. Grab anything you think might be useful. I need you to close up any unoccupied buildings, put posters up, that sort of thing. Make sure everything is all squared away and shipshape. You are a military man, I'm sure you understand that. Everyone doing their bit, following their orders. All right? All right? I think. Good man. I knew we could count on you. Ah, Jesus, mate. What the hell was that?
Did the guy giving Clive his orders get converted into energy right there? What the? What is happening? So you don't think it's taken over her completely? Okay. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure what I thought initially is not necessarily true anymore, but that doesn't mean that my new thoughts are correct. So everything, a bunch of things are crossed out. Like Tipworth Forest is crossed out. Lakeside is crossed out. Can't read that really. Too, I don't know, cursive. It's difficult to read the handwriting. Oh, there's something this way too. Can I read this? Oh, it's upside down. It's right up this way. And I also can't read it really. Okay, well, I don't know that we would need to. Just interesting. Cannot go out the back door. Okay, is there anything upstairs here? Here's his military uniform from his days of the war, I guess. It's hard to say, right? I don't know if this thing that has come along can take everybody, or if certain people's makeup, like their genetic makeup, might prevent it. Not sure. It's interesting, but so far in the house, I've not really found anything useful for letting us know what's happening or anything, except for that phone call down below. It's getting darker and darker, so that's what makes me think we're getting toward the end of the game. I feel like when we get to darkness, we'll be really close to the end. I mean, otherwise I don't know really what the point of changing the light as you progress through the game is. But I don't know for sure, obviously. I've never played this. I'm just kind of making an assumption. Why can I not... Hello? I cannot go any farther. I can't go downstairs now. What? Seriously? Oh, no, there we go. That's really glitchy. There's like one small spot where you can pass back through. I was worried I'd have to, like, reload. Alright. And I assume we cannot get into the backyard. Yeah. Okay. I guess. I don't know exactly what you mean by connected. I mean, in a sense, everybody was connected to it, right? Because everybody eventually got converted over to energy. So I don't know. The fact that she discovered a lot of stuff about it doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if she discovered stuff, unless she discovered specifically how to stop or at least postpone the takeover, I don't know that anything she discovered would have been useful. She would have to figure out a way to stop it from converting her if she was going to last longer because of some kind of, you know what I mean? Like, being connected does not automatically, I mean, it could, but that's what I'm saying is, like, I think everybody else was connected. So that's why I'm not exactly sure. Let's see what else is in here before I go loading the next cutscene, and then we'll leave right after the cutscene. Okay. Here you go the other way.
Appleton! What are you doing here? You thieving bastard. I knew it was you.
Listen, take everything you need, but then you have to leave. You don't understand. You can't be near me.
Painting your stupid little pictures. Stealing food. You always were a little prick.
Please, every second we're in proximity makes it worse. I'm a primary conduit.
You're a fucking disgrace. Come here!
Sam,
Don't
what
touch
the
me,
hell
get
is
off.
going on?
Come in here! Lord,
Jesus,
get over
Sam!
us. Thinking you're so much better
Sam,
than the
leave
rest
him.
of us.
No physical
You and your
contact.
stupid fucking
Sam,
missus!
stop
She's
it.
better than any of you!
Sam?
Is he?
Meg, please.
Don't come near me.
Meg!
Charlie!
Meg! Meg, wait!
Don't touch me!
Meg, please, you have to understand, it was an accident! Get off her!
Let go, let's just go.
Charlie, you have to understand, it was an accident.
Just leave him. Leave him.
What have you done, Appleton, you bastard?
Come on, Charlie, let's just
Meg,
get out
Charlie,
of here.
please!
Yeah, but if she had more of a connection, wouldn't that arguably make her go faster? Because it seems like if you're in proximity of it, it takes you over, right? So if you communicate with, if you're more connected to it, wouldn't it absorb you and stuff even more quickly? I mean, maybe not. I don't understand how it works, but if it has some ability when it comes into contact with you of, like, converting you and stuff.
You're a daft old bird
I don't
walking all the way out here for it. You know Charlie would have dropped it off.
What, and have that stinking great lorry of his poisoning my birds? He shouldn't be driving it on these lanes, it's a hazard.
I think he was hoping he could have a word with you about Frank.
There's nothing to say.
Oh, listen, Wendy, they might all be scared of you, but that's not going to work with me. You're 68 years old. Grow up. Talk to Frank.
How dare you speak to me like that? Give me my bird feeder right now.
Promise me you'll drop by and see your brother.
Megan Holloway, give
Not a chance. Promise me. It's for your own good, and you know it.
You are a shamelessly manipulative and difficult woman. It's no wonder Charlie adores you so much.
No wonder I do what?
No wonder you never finish what you start. I thought I told you to check the incoming stock orders. Wendy, one bird feeder for you. I'll tell Frank you'll stop by.
Oh,
Charlie, stop mooning around and stick the kettle on. Make yourself useful.
It seemed mostly a really good community. I mean, not everybody obviously is that way. You're always going to have some bad apples here and there. But for the most part, not counting Stephen and Catherine, right? Because they're not part of the community, really. They're from outside now, even though Stephen's originally from here. But most of them in the community seem very concerned about each other's well-being. Very desirous to help each other out, make sure everybody's okay, right? Obviously not everybody's like that, like I said, but there seem to be an awful lot of people like that, which is really cool. This would have been a nice community to be in, I think. Yeah, could be keeping her alive. I don't know for what purpose, but I mean, I suppose that's possible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I don't really know. There's not a map anywhere, right? Is the problem. And since it takes 5,000 years to get anywhere in the game because you're not allowed to run, still don't know what that's about, but trying to make sure you've not missed something or that you're not backtracking is a bit of a problem if there's not a map close by.
Have they closed the tunnel?
There's no trains. I've put up a sign.
The tunnel, Howard. Is it closed?
I think so. I don't like it. It's not right at all.
Stop whining. It doesn't help anyone. Did you know you're bleeding?
Oh, it's this headache. It's just killing me. I haven't had a nosebleed like this since I was a kid.
But you've not been to the village?
No, I've been here the last couple of days, or at home. I've only spoken to Clive at the EMC on the phone. Well, tried to anyway, but with all the crossed lines...
But no direct contact with any other people?
No, no one. What are you talking about? What's going on?
It's the pattern. It's adapted again. It doesn't need direct contact to transfer. It's using the phones.
What do you mean, direct contact? Stephen!
Jeez, and you can see the blood up here. Started to bleed. Gosh. This thing, though. So many people. Okay, we came here last time, but we came via a different route. Right, we were over this way more? Was that what it was? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, we came up this road. We took this turn off, came up to the train station. Okay. So if we go back down to the road and then over. So we came from those houses over there. Now I know where we are. Okay. I believe we've also been checking both sides. Not just this one, but crossing the road and looking. So I think... So this road, and then continuing that way. Does this connect? So it goes to this one, and then it just goes back out? No, it doesn't even go out. So is this just a dead end? No, it keeps going that way. What? Okay. Trying not to miss anything. Places to explore, but it's a little tricky. Oh, you were eating? Oh. What was for... I guess it'd be late night dinner, late night dinner for you. What was for your food, Doc? What were you eating? Power station of some kind. Relay station or whatever. Like he was saying before, it goes through the telephones and the radios and stuff, so...
Pressure in my eyes again. I can't move my legs, can't feel my face. When I collapsed, the light was waiting for me there. Caught me, lowered me here. Now it's pooling around my feet, watching me. The printers are spewing out page after page of zeros. It's frightened too. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. I'll look after you. It's alone. It's scared. Oh, it's traveled so far. It's okay. I can help you. We can be together now. 10 seconds to signal fusion. We can be together.
Signal fusion?
2.
So it's at that point that she got converted? Is what it sounds like? I'm not saying that's what happened, but it sounds like at that point she got converted. But if that's true, then we are not Kate because we're walking around. But we could still be Kate. Maybe it didn't happen. I don't know. It's hard. Oh, yeah. I don't know, Fofox. I'm still not sure what's going on. Gnocchi? Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. It's more than just normal too. Like there's rush late weekend nights at restaurants normally anyway, but then with like everything with COVID and stuff, a lot of people rely kind of heavily on restaurants for taking a break. You know, oh, I had a really hard week, and it's been, you know, tough with everything with COVID anyway. Let's get some food and watch a movie or something Saturday night to kind of decompress or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure what really has gone on.
What do you want me to say? You knew what you were getting into.
Really?
Well, I'm sorry we don't measure up to your exacting standards, Dr. Collins. Maybe you just need to give us ordinary humans a break.
What? Ordinary humans like Lizzie Graves? Did you really think that I wouldn't find out? Frank told me, or did you forget there's one person in this shithole who actually talks to me?
Kate, it was just a drink.
Don't bother, Stephen!
For Christ's sake. Kate, slow down.
You were engaged to her, Stephen. You nearly married her.
Oh, come on, it was just a drink.
Then why the hell did you lie to me about it?
Because I knew you'd be mad and then it would end up in a row. You wanted to focus on the event tonight.
Oh, so you were actually doing me a favor. Wow, I guess I just forgot to say thank you. Do not treat me like I'm an idiot.
You're overreacting. I know you're stressed.
Just don't. You keep away from me tonight. I'm not gonna let
Kate. Kate, come on, this is crazy.
You did it to yourself, Steven. He has literally nobody to blame but himself. And it's not... He could pretend all he wants, but it wasn't just a drink. We watched the scene with him and Lizzie. He was reminiscing...
And what have you done to your face?
It's nothing. You collecting feed? Looks like the supplies haven't been coming in.
Huh? Again?
The phones are all strange. I can't pinpoint the logic of transmission.
You what? What are you doing with that paint?
Means the EMC are actually moving at the proper speed. Listen, Frank. Have you heard anything on the radio about a flu outbreak?
Doesn't seem much like flu to me.
They're shutting down access to the valley to try and isolate it. No, something about the phones. I can't put my finger on it quite yet.
What are you talking about? Hey, I'm still talking to you. Where are you going?
But yeah, in the conversation he had with Liz, it was clear he was regretting having left. He was not happy in his marriage with Kate. He was looking for some way out. I mean, this is not the behavior of somebody who was just calmly, just happened to have a drink with an old friend. This is the behavior of somebody who's unhappy and is looking for change, but unfortunately, the change he's looking for is ending his marriage. And, okay, that's where we were before, just making sure. And having an affair, right? Just get some water, it's a drink. You got water in your tap, right? Just get some water, it's fine.
This is Catherine Collins, recording for posterity. It's all over. I don't know how long I've got. Whatever he did, whatever the planes were carrying, it's burning my lungs. Probably some kind of nerve agent. I suspect it's only exposure to the pattern that has kept me alive this long. I'm making my way to Tower 6. I'm going to fuse the signals from the optical array. I just hope I can make it.
Jeez. So somebody poisoned her or something? Or gave her a nerve agent to try to eliminate her? What the crap? Oh, do they have a lot of delays? Yeah? Yeah, I think it depends on the time of day. May also actually depend... Well, so probably... Or it may depend on the time of the day. That's probably somewhat true. It's probably also dependent on the streaming server, the hub where they send their signal, and then try to broadcast from there. Different servers get overloaded, like the servers in Los Angeles are, well, I don't know about now with COVID. Probably worse, actually. Anyway, the servers in Los Angeles have been horrible traditionally compared to other servers, like in Texas and stuff. Also, it could, although I don't know that it does, but it could have something to do with how many people are on an individual stream, too. Yeah. Could be. Yeah, maybe it wasn't on the plane she took to come here. Maybe it was on a plane that flew over, yeah. Because Lizzie did say, for example... No, we know, right? Yeah. That's from the end of last time. We know, because Lizzie was at the train station waiting, and that was kind of the sad thing, was she wasn't aware of what was going on. She's like, oh, look, the planes are flying over or whatever. But we knew the planes were specifically coming to try to wipe out people to prevent the further spread, right? So yeah, maybe that's what the nerve agent was, maybe, or whatever it was. Maybe that's probably what she's talking about. It was affecting her, as affecting Kate as well. Some do lag on purpose? Really? What would they want to accomplish with lag, I wonder? Because that seems weird to me. I mean, I believe you. It just seems weird they would do it.
Hello? Hello, is there anyone there? Can anyone hear me? Clive? Clive, it's Stephen Appleton. Are you there? Can you hear me? Over. Come on, Clive, where are you? Damn it. Kate, it's Stephen. Come in Tower 6. Kate, are you there? Kate? Anyone, hello? Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Stephen Appleton broadcasting from within the quarantine zone. Can anybody hear me? Over. Oh, God, no. No. Fucking hell, no!
Did he just get consumed or something? He also was trying to reach Kate at Tower 6, and the radio out there said she was heading for that. So I wonder if she never made it to Tower 6, somehow something stopped her on the way. Maybe she succumbed to the nerve agent, or maybe she finally got converted over to light or energy or whatever. Hard to say, but seems like she either didn't make it, or maybe she eventually made it, but she was delayed enough that when he called, she wasn't there, and he expected her to be there already. And then Clive also. So Clive, we knew Clive was, he was up there at the train station, right? He had his nose bleeding and stuff. So we knew that he was basically going to be gone soon. Kate has described having symptoms like we knew, so that's potentially a problem too. Oh, right. You're trying to cheat effectively with a lag, right? You're trying to cause severe lag so that you can gain an advantage over your enemy, your opponent. Yeah. Yeah. Although if it's nerve gas, he wouldn't have died right away. But maybe he already had been breathing it in, hadn't realized until after the planes flew over, and then it started getting worse or something. That's always a possibility as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this has been really rough. Okay, so we are up here at Little Tipworth. So we came for last time. Here was the campground and the lakeside resort and stuff, right? So we came from there. Yeah, we came. Here was the roundabout. We came up and up this way. And now, because the train was here, train station was up there, we've come down here, yeah. So there is a lookout point close by here, kind of behind us, I guess. And then I suppose I'm trying to piece together where all we've gone. Okay, we started the observatory at the very beginning of the game. We went down here, wandered through Yaughton, all these different areas of Yaughton. I think the church is here, as I say, church kind of up this way. These are farms, I think. Came out here to Tipworth Forest. So we went through all of these things, right? All the houses and stuff here. Then we came up here. Did we follow the road the full way? I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, We came through here, and then we came through the farms. And then we took, eventually, after viewing all these different farms, the windmill was here and stuff, yeah. We came basically from the windmill, followed this path down, we came to here. And we looked at these different lakeside things, campgrounds, and the shoreline and stuff. Then we came back up here, finished this loop, and then up here. Yeah, so I think what we're going to be doing, I might want to look at this lookout point maybe, but what we're going to be doing, I think, is basically coming back up to where the station is, and then trying to go up and out? I don't know. I don't know what we still have to do. Not really sure. There's the windmill, yeah, looking out over everything. Okay, am I just following you now? I guess? I guess have me go this way. I'll go this way first. I wonder if there's something down here, though, but... But that might be out of order. I guess we'll go back here where they're waiting, where it's waiting. Here first, and then we'll come back out and go that way, I guess. I hear a signal. Or heard. It's not going now. Oh, there's a lot of convergence over here, looks like. Let's go check this thing at the end first. I'm not sure if we'll be able to move on after this. This might convert us or something. Let's look down here first. Agricultural wholesalers. Wait, have we already been here? No. I don't think so. It seems similar to where places where we've been before, but I don't think we've actually been here. Although maybe, because this is going back toward the farms, and I think we saw some barns and things, structures like those in the farmland that were laid out somewhat like this. In fact, I do think we've been to this specific building. This particular one.
It's all over the valley. Don't you get that? This isn't some abstract thing. Whatever came down into the tower has got out. They've quarantined the whole valley.
It's right here in the observatory.
It's out in the world. It's adapting and spreading. Do you understand?
No, we can't turn it away. It's come too far.
Okay, people are disappearing. Shut it down now.
No! If you won't help me, I'll do it on my own. I'm gonna route all the power back through Tower 6.
Kate!
Wait. It's trying to break through again.
Kate! Wait!
Yeah. That was earlier, before it had spread quite so far. And then that goes back down to the valley, yeah. So we do want to go up this way. Okay, this was coming back to where we've already been. I just didn't remember for sure. I didn't remember. Not for sure. I didn't remember at all. I didn't remember this from before. From first expo, I mean, I'm no expert, but I think it takes a few minutes. I don't think it takes a really long time, but I do think it takes a few minutes. But like I said, I'm no expert, so I am guessing. Elagus, the streamer? Doesn't sound familiar. There are only certain streamers I watch. I don't have anything against going out, like, finding new streamers to watch, but I don't make a habit of regularly going out to find new streamers. So there are probably a lot I've not seen. Is this where we already were? No, because the back door's open. But I do feel like we've already been here, just... Alright, so we're supposed to go through the woods and follow you instead, huh? Okay. I guess we've already been to those houses. Sometimes it's a little difficult to tell, but it looks like this is going to guide us to where we've not yet been. That, I think, was when we were coming down from the picnic, or not the picnic, the camping area. Originally, I think those were the houses that were from there. So it all is coming back to this Tower 6 or whatever. Or this electrical tower or whatever it is where we are. Oh, and inside there? Okay, there is some stuff here. With everything, all the interference and signal and stuff here, I would have expected us to find a radio or something in the area, but I don't know. This is not saying where we are now. I'm thinking here, though. Or around here. It just doesn't have a "you are here" indicator, right? Right. That's where she... Okay, so we wound back to there. Okay. Sorry. Okay, got it. And it went inside here. I don't know if this was open before and I missed it or what, but it went inside here, so I guess this is where we want to go now. And down? Oh, this could be a horror game. Oh. I'm not familiar with the name, though. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, Gothic 2, Gothic 1, and I can't say about Gothic 3 yet. Obviously, I haven't played it yet, but I need you soon, hopefully, right? But anyway, but yeah, Gothic 1 and Gothic 2, I mean, I've said that for a long time. There's a reason that there was such a kind of almost like a cult following with Piranha Bytes, right?
When I was a kid, my dad found a fox. It had been hit by a car and couldn't walk anymore. My mum went spare, of course. Made him keep it in the shed. He was already slipping away from us then. He spent hours with that fox, telling it all about Italy and the villages they bombed there. I was jealous, I think. That the fox got more of my dad than I did. But it was dying, that was clear. So one day, I snuck out, took it a sandwich for food. I was only 8. When it bit me, I remember the anger, the shock, the hurt. Running in, screaming from the garden, my mum panicking about rabies. My dad beat it to death with a spade.
Aww.
Later I found him crying. I'd done it, Ken, son. That's what he said. I'd done it, Ken, it was hurting you. That's just a poor, dumb, dying animal. It doesn't know it's hurting us. Christ help us, it's left the valley. It's everywhere now. It's been 3 hours since the planes went over. I haven't been able to reach anyone on the shortwave. I'm beginning to think I may have made a terrible miscalculation.
Wow. So it's too late. It's already into the rest of the world also. That's what it sounds like. Jeez. I hope so. That would be really nice, right?
What are you? You understand me, don't you? Well, there's no one left. Just me. You know what this is? What I'm gonna do? You want light? Fine. I'll give you light. After me, there's no one. You'll be all alone again. Forever. Like before. You've taken everyone I've ever loved from me. You've made me do things I never even thought I was capable of. But if you think I'm coming with you... Kate? Wait. Stop. Kate.
This is Catherine Collins. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this. It's all over. I'm the only one left.
That last section was called Steven, so I guess we're now just heading back to the observatory. Okay. Tower 1. She said she was in Tower 6, so we may or may not be able to find anything in these other towers. All this writing, all these formulas and everything, right? Interesting. Jeez, so Steven killed himself. You know, I hate it. I know it's just a story and stuff, but I hate because it's reflective of a lot of stories of real life, right? I hate it when people just cause themselves so much pain and there's literally nothing you can do about it. You can't stop the pain. They just have to deal with it, right? It sucks.
On the plane, Stephen leaned across me and pointed out of the window. Down there, he said. That's home. But all I saw were patches of color. I don't think until this moment that I understood that one could contain the other so completely.
Tower 3. I guess 2's down there. I don't know. Do we need to do these in order? We might need to do these in order so we can piece the story together properly. Okay, let's not do this yet. Hang on. Let me go down to Tower 2 really fast. Assuming that's what's across the street. Yeah, there you go, Tower 2. This game was... Oh, and others they've done too, like Dear Esther and stuff. This game was done so well. This could totally have been a movie. This could actually have been just a drama, end-of-the-world type of movie. So all of these... I thought they were infinity symbols before, but I guess they're vortices that are next to each other or some such. Huh.
I watched a butterfly dancing in a strip of sunlight. All of its life contained in a single day. The blink of an eye between the ebb of the darkening tide. Lying there with the pattern curled around me, I saw the inevitability, the necessity of presence born from absence, the constant unfolding.
If it's done well, Patak, that's the worry I always have. When anybody ever tries to do these, like change these games into movies, it just, I don't know. Maybe it's changed. Maybe gaming has become popular enough that maybe it's changed. But I look at stuff like the Hitman movie and stuff. They just screw it up so badly. Like, it's just awful. It doesn't capture the essence of the game even remotely. All they did was basically create some other Hollywood assassin movie. It was really all they did. Which is just... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so here's Tower 3 now. More formulas. She was clearly frantically trying to figure things out. Not just mathematically or whatever, but in any way she could. She was like, I have to figure out what's going on. She's got these telescopes trying to see the light patterns in the sky and everything too. Yeah, see, she was following around some of the light things moving too, although we have multiple of the same picture in some places. Like middle left and middle right are the same picture. Bottom, center, top center are the same picture, but yeah. Anyway. Okay.
I know it didn't mean to hurt any of them. I try and explain why Lizzie tried to leave with her child and why it was wrong to stop her. I try and explain that much of what it did was wrong. It shows me Stephen and Lizzie together. And I'm happy for them. Frank walks his fields with Mary. Wendy and Edward nest together in the orchards of their love. Jeremy lies at peace with his God at last. All of them are happy because they are together. I understand it better now. It is a collector of time. No butterflies.
There was 2. So this must be 4 over here. Hopefully we can get to it this way. Looks like this is a dead end though. Alright, so we'll go back all the way back around. Oh no, there are stairs. Okay, good. Wait, is this still 2? Yeah, this is still 2, so I'm going to go over here. Okay. My theory. Okay. Well, at the moment, that's meaningless to me because I have no idea what you wrote, but yeah. It's good that you were right then, I guess, if that was your theory. I honestly usually, I mean, sometimes I may get an idea, oh, it's probably talking about this or something, but I actually prefer usually, if I can keep my brain calm enough to do so, I prefer to not guess and just let a game show me what it's trying to tell me. Not because of a risk of being wrong, but more of a desire to be surprised and impressed by what a game may do. But like I said, I can't always do that. Sometimes my brain's too active and I start saying, well, what about this? Or maybe it was meaning this or whatever. I love how it's the Commodore computers that they're using, Commodore Amiga. That's awesome.
I watched the pattern lean in and time slow to almost nothing. I saw the flame leap from Stephen's hand, and the moment hang in the air forever. I watched his face, and in the last second, I almost believe he saw me. He wasn't frightened or angry. I remember his expression, just like I remember it from the first time, early that morning when he woke and, still half sleeping, said, "God, I love you." And I loved him as he entered the fire. And I let him go, knowing I wasn't ready to join him. We have held time to ourselves here in this place. Held the light to the ground because we were afraid of the coming dark. But now we understand that to cling to the light is not living. I've spent my life watching the illumination from a million dead stars reaching for me without grasping this meaning. The light we cast transcends our death. The pattern made by our living creates a bridge across the dark.
We'll probably have 2 towers left, because that was 4. So we'll probably have 5, and then she was going to go to tower 6 eventually. So we'll probably have 1 more stop at 5, and then we'll end at 6 is my guess. Yeah, tower 5. A whole bunch of televisions hanging in the air and stuff? Interesting. You don't actually even get up to the tower steps this time. It's all out here in front. And I wonder what this is. Is this Kate was here at one point recording, and so this light representing a person here was Kate, maybe?
It reaches out from the shadow of the tower, across the observatory, over the valley, and consumes the world. Everything is light now. Everything has come to rest. The world is scored by the traces we carved into it. Our presence is everywhere, the bridge joining our stories. This world existed before we came to it, and it will continue without us. In the empty fields and houses, our traces radiate, and others will come to dance in the light we cast. We can slip away gently, unafraid, knowing that everything will continue.
Oh, I was thinking it was going to be another save point thing, but it went away now. Now that her radio record or her recording ended. Okay, so we will continue on to 6 then. I thought we might have another cutscene first, but I guess not. I know, right? It's very atmospheric, very pretty, very done, very well done. Right. No, it's fine. That just, there's a certain degree of incompatibility between your way of going about things and mine, though, right? There's a certain amount of that is incompatible. Because I want to be surprised and just let things happen, whether I've had a thought or not. You want to figure it out and express what you think is coming. I don't want to hear what somebody thinks is coming, because I want to see it, like experience it all for myself. There's nothing wrong with either way. They just are at conflict sometimes with each other. So it's good you put your guess in Discord so that I would just avoid looking at it, because I don't want to have somebody else's thoughts about the full picture influence my thinking on the way. And obviously, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having either approach, like thinking about it ahead of time and making a guess and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as that doesn't reveal stuff that somebody who doesn't like to do that, so that they're still able to see anyway, right? Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah. And then add to all that glowing and all of the the color you can see out in space too. Add to it all these almost like aurora borealis type lights here. It's really cool. Really pretty, and they go so well together too. Right, maybe I was not expressing it the best way or the way I meant exactly, Fofox. I was just saying I appreciated that you put it in Discord so I could read it later, so that it wouldn't potentially spoil anything for me or influence my thinking or whatever. Okay, so can I enter, or do I need to go around? Maybe I can go over the shrubbery that I didn't think I could before. Oh yeah, we entered. Ah, we just have this. And we cannot click on this, so we have to do this save point thing.
The end is coming now. I'm not afraid. We have each other. We lived apart from them. We understand now our failure to touch, to belong. But it doesn't matter anymore. Everybody is gone, and we will join them. We are born apart, driftwood on the banks of an endless dark ocean, and we will be carried away by the swell soon enough. But in between, in the single day of living, that dancing in a strip of sunlight, we can find what we miss. The love that makes us whole. The imminence. Everybody found their other. This pattern is mine.
Wow. So you actually have a couple of different... You have really, I guess, you have 3 different responses to everything, to the event, right? The first response was what most people had, which was, I don't understand what's going on. Why are we quarantined? I'm scared. And people are dying. disappearing, going away. That's the first. The second was more like what Stephen and maybe Frank or Clive to a little extent, had, which was, this is getting out of hand. We have to try to stop this. We have to prevent everything from spreading, right? And then you had Kate's perspective, which is completely different, where she embraced it and realized that people who were changed and taken away found peace together in life. She did not feel like she did, but in death, she found her peace, her partner, or her tie to the signal, the lights that had been basically the main thing of the event. It's interesting. So this one wasn't a sad ending, really. It was kind of a mixed ending, right? It was sad in some ways, but it was actually really nice in other ways. There were some people, Jeremy, I don't remember names, but some of the older folks who seemed at peace with moving on. They were concerned for the welfare of other people, and they wanted to help them, but they seemed actually okay with moving on. Like, we've had a good life, just let what will be, right? There were the people who fought against it vehemently, right? Lizzie, Stephen, certain other people too, right? I can't remember the name now, but that family that tried to leave with their children started bleeding. They went back home. The father went upstairs with the children. Right? That for family, for example, would be another example. People fighting what was happening. And then I don't know if there were any other people really like Kate, but in the case of Kate, it actually was a good thing. She didn't feel happy or at peace her whole life, but she did once it was time for her to move on and kind of join the light being or whatever. Interesting. Yeah. Well, honestly, I think any good game, or movie for that matter, will do that. It'll make you think afterward. Think about what you just experienced and try to find some greater meaning in it. Well, I shouldn't say any, because sometimes a game or a movie or something, the whole point of it is just to like let you decompress. It's just a fun thing, not meant to be deeper or to linger on or whatever. Just depends on what the point of it is, I think. Something like this, though, that tries to be deep in its meaning, you could tell it's successful if people during the closing credits are continuing to discuss and try to analyze what they've just been through, right? And the Chinese Room does a really great job with that in general, right? They did excellently with Dear Esther. They did a really great job with Machine for Pigs, where although a lot of people had gripes about Machine for Pigs because they said it wasn't really horror, wasn't really an amnesia game, whatever. First of all, I disagree with that. I think it was just different. I don't think it was not an amnesia game. But secondly, I also think their whole point was they were going for the same type of thing they go for at least have gone for in their other games, which is making you think and reflect a lot on what you just went through after playing, right? And that's fine, because that's their aim, is to make you think about it afterwards. So I think it's fine. The fact that they do that they try for that, and then you think about it after the fact, says that they're successful in what they're doing, right? Something like Gothic or Gothic 2, it's not that what makes those games good, for example, you don't have this big question about being or morality or the nature of things or anything like along those lines. You don't have those kinds of questions afterwards. There's a completely different reason that Gothic 2 are great games, for example. So it just depends on what your game's point is. These kinds of games, trying to evoke this kind of emotion, do that very well, though. It's like fictional games. Even though it was a horror game, I think one of the biggest strengths of Amnesia, The Dark Descent, is not its horror. Although that was a huge part of the game, and it was very important for them to get that right, I don't think that in and of itself is what makes The Dark Descent a great game. A large part of what makes The Dark Descent a great game is the story and background and interaction of all the characters. I know, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's my feeling on that, right? So that's why that is a great game. Soma was another great example. The point of Soma was not horror. There were some spots where there was horror, and I know a lot of people complained like, Soma wasn't really a horror game. I mean, it kind of was, but it wasn't aiming to be horror. There were just horrific things you had to experience as a consequence of the story. But the story was the story in and of itself. And the point of Soma was to analyze deeper questions about the nature of consciousness. What makes you you? Is it your soul? Is it your existence at all? Is it your one life? What makes a person or a being valuable? What actually makes them them, right? That was the question in Soma. So the fact that it had horror in it is fine. It was great, but it was not a horror game, really. It was a philosophical analysis more than anything. It had horror elements, but it was really philosophical in nature. So anyway, I think that's a point that's missed a lot in analysis of games. A lot of reviews and analyses of games look at something for what a person or player was expecting from the game, not how well the game achieved what it was trying to achieve. And those are completely different things. And everybody's obviously entitled to their opinion, but to me, I would never knock a game hard for it not being what I expected it to be. I would knock it for trying to do something but failing to do what it tried. That's where I might deduct points or whatever. And I wouldn't necessarily knock it in the sense of like, say it was a bad game or something. I would just say, maybe they didn't quite do what they set out to do. Which is okay if that's the case. But every game that's ever created, every piece of art that's ever created sets out to do a certain thing. How well that accomplishes that aim determines how good that art is. It could be a story, it could be painting, it could be a sculpture, it could be a movie, it could be a game, a piece of music, doesn't matter. If it does not do what it tries to do, it's not as good a quality as if it does what it wants to do. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. I didn't realize that Frictional made it where you had no hostile enemies at all. That's interesting. I didn't have a problem with the hostile enemies. I kind of think that removing the hostile enemies, maybe not much, but I think it slightly takes away from the idea of the game. Because I feel like the point of the game is not just what it means to be a being in specific reference to you, the protagonist, but a stream of numbers and the great. Oh, I'm being consumed, turned into light. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, I think part of the game Soma really is its analysis of that question in a large scale, right? So when enemies go crazy and start attacking people and stuff, that still is analyzing the true nature of them, right? And I don't mean that these were violent people initially. What I'm saying is that there's a living, breathing, or whatever, or existing being in the different suits and stuff where they attack. There's still a living thing inside there that's being affected, potentially in pain, through the course of the effects of that black goo that got all over him, right? And I think if you take the monsters away, you take away a certain percentage of the tragedy that befell all of those people. You also take away a certain part of the desperation and eventual victory of, I don't remember her name, Julia? I don't remember. Anyway, the girl that was with you, right, that was helping guide you after the fact, who had already been converted and was just her consciousness now. Anyway, she and the protagonist, their attempt to get onto the space station, or the space station or whatever, right, and continue to exist there, that was a big part of the game too. And they're trying to get up there. There's not really a reason for them to, if there aren't any enemies, right? The whole point is that there are dangerous things, and if they don't get up there, that the dangerous things eventually will come in and destroy them, right? Because they're dangerous. What's the point of going up there if there's no danger? They can just hang out in the same place for forever, and it doesn't matter, right? So I think removing the enemies kind of removes some of the story. I really don't think it works quite as well if you do that. So I think the enemies were integral to it. I really think they were important. I don't know why people would want to have it with no enemies. Maybe because some people are like, well, the enemies are scary, and so they don't want it. I can understand that. Not everybody likes horror. But I don't know. I feel like you needed all of it. You needed the overarching story and a lot of the breaks in between where there was not horrible stuff going on. And then you also needed the instances where there were horrific things. I think they all worked well together. I think it was really well done as it was. I don't think it needed to be changed at all. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, that's my perspective. I think it was fine. I don't think it was a horror game. I don't think it was intended to be a horror game. I think it was, like you said, it was more of a thriller, maybe psychological horror thriller, maybe. I feel like it was a psychological, I feel like it was a drama that mainly was focused on exploring the psychological question, or the philosophical question, I should say, about people's existence, or existence in general, and it just happened to have some horrific elements in it. I honestly think the only reason the horror was even in there was because people expected Frictional to turn out another horror title, which is ridiculous. A developer should be able to develop whatever they want. They may get known for something, but why can't they try to branch out and do other non-horror types of games? That I see no reason why that should be a problem. So, I don't know. My perspective is I think they did a great job with it. I think it was a great game as it was. Didn't need to be changed. And I think the people complaining were examples of what I disagree with, where it doesn't meet your expectation, so you rag on the game and like potentially drop your rating of it or your opinion of it because it doesn't meet your expectation. That's why I try to go into games blind most of the time, because I don't want any preconceptions. I just want to experience it and enjoy it for what the developers wanted it to be. But there's no law saying you have to approach it my way. That's just what I prefer. So anyway, all right. So that's going to be it for this afternoon, or tonight for Patak. I'll be streaming my usual Saturday night time. We'll be doing the council. We'll see how much farther we get through that. We'll be starting episode 5. Who knows how long that'll take. So I'll see you tonight if you can make it. Otherwise, tomorrow I will see you. Till then, peace.
My spider.
This freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.